Congratulations, Jürgen. You're into the quarter-finals. That's a big boost for everybody. Very professional, very controlled.
Yeah, good. Good as well. Created a lot of chances. That's us. So the first half, massive chances and didn't score with it, which is, the 21 thing we have. But no, true. Again, the best thing what the boys did is, again, that nobody could really see how good Leipzig can be. We defended them really well. Because they are a monster, really. They usually they are so powerful and have so you saw the runs in behind, but if we defended that really well, big compliment to the boys.
I think our lip readers in the commentary booths could see you telling your players that they were outstanding tonight. Is that fair?
Yeah, they were. So we had to make ourselves ready for that. We had to switch off the Premier League stuff and or to cut off and to get here and to try to give it a proper try. And the boys really enjoyed themselves tonight, which is important. But with doing the hardest and the dirtiest work, to be honest, because it was a big defending challenge tonight and. Yeah, the boys did really well, so for tonight we are really happy.
Great team performance. Let's name some individuals, though. The return of Fabinho, he was a great settling influence, wasn't
he? Yeah, I told him on the way downstairs, if you like the position 6 more than the other one, and he said, yeah, you couldn't show it more clear. Yeah, because look, we all want Fab on the 6. That's how it is. Tonight he played there, and the 2 centre-halves played an incredible game. Yeah, to be honest. The whole last line played a really good game, because that's really a tough task. Leipzig, they have runs from everywhere in behind, and you have to be high, but you cannot be too high, and you have to be there for the high balls. We had to press them that they have to play these rather uncontrolled long balls. We did that very well in the first line, and then we defended deep together really well, which is important not only in the Champions League but especially. And everybody had a really good game. 3 midfielders worked really well together, 3 up front. Diogo as long as he could. It was only a sensible decision just to not let him play again 90. The boys who came on, Divock and Navi especially, it was really good. Millie was really good. So no, it was a good performance.
And you've been under such scrutiny and under such pressure. Can you use this performance and this result to just gather some momentum?
Yeah. We have to. We have now, last time when we played Champions League, it's a long trip. So we arrived tomorrow at, I think, 5 o'clock or so. But we play only on Monday, so that's an okay. So we have to make ourselves ready. So if we play like tonight, I think then it will be not easy for Wolves. But we all know we have to. We want to win football games now. We feel it the first time for a while, and it's a massive difference.
Congratulations. Have a safe journey home. Mo, congratulations. You're through to the last 8. That's a big result tonight with all that's been happening at Liverpool lately.
Yeah, it's a big result for us. We came here we lost a couple of games, a few games in the Premier League, and the team is not in the best shape. But we want to fight in the Champions League, and we want to fight also in each game in the Premier League, and we see what will happen.
Fighting, that was a very controlled and positive performance this evening.
Yeah, it's a really positive. To be fair, it's a tough team. They play football. They make us run a lot today, and we try to play our way, to press high and get the ball and go counter-attack. I think we did well. We won the game. That's the most important thing. And yeah, it's a positive thing to take from that game, and hopefully we can continue with that in the Premier League as well.
Yeah, your goal in the 71st minute, that was vital, because there was a little bit of concern. You had a lot of chances and you kept missing them, so people started to get a little bit anxious maybe.
Well, I score good numbers this season. Hopefully, I would love to score more, but it's a part of the game that you miss chances, and you want to score all the time. You want to help the team, but as much as the team keep winning, that's the most important thing. So I'm happy that I scored today the first goal, and the team won. That's the most important thing.
And a word on the defence. They looked very comfortable this evening.
Yeah, I think it's hard. You know, we had a few players that get injured, and you know the Joe, Joel, then Hendo. Then we try to take Hendo, play centre back. Then Fabinho from midfield to centre back. So you lose Fabinho in the midfield, and you lose him in a centre back because he's not in a main position. But we had a few injured this season. We were unlucky, but the most important thing is we need to keep fighting. I know it's really hard, and everybody can see that, but as much as everybody try to give 100% and keep fighting the game, I think we just need to take each game on time and just focus on next game. We don't have to look to the big picture, because sometimes when we look to the big picture, we get pressure, you know, and we see that too much pressure. We carry on in the pitch, but hopefully we just need to leave the pressure out the field and just play football.
Do you go into this Champions League game with a different mindset because it's away from the Premier League, because it's been tough?
Yeah, it's been tough in the Premier League. Everybody can see that, but I think we don't want it to be tough. But it's a part of the game. Last couple of years we were winning, we were flying. This year you had a few injuries, so you were unlucky. So you're really trying to fix that, but sometimes it's hard because sometimes we don't have full squad. Like not 18 players in the team. So, but I mean, you have young players that are really playing good, but sometimes you struggle to put someone in centre back. But hopefully now we have 2 centre back or 3 or 4. Hopefully now we can keep winning.
He just said he thought he was the cameraman. It was so high up. The camera. It's quite amusing. It could be a game changer for them. This little bit of, you know, a win, a victory through to the quarterfinals. Bit of positivity around the place. Yeah,
that's it. The positive energy that a win can give you, definitely. And he spoke about nervousness creeping out onto the pitch, and hopefully that alleviates it a little bit, because you need a moment, you need a goal. Especially as strikers, you guys know more than anyone that a goal can really change not only your fortunes but also your mind state. And when you walk on that pitch, you're not second guessing anything. You go out there and you're much more assured. So hopefully that happens and that filters through the team, because listen, him and Mane are really the talisman up front in terms of setting the tone of that press with the goals, and hopefully that filters through the rest of the team.
I think confidence-wise, it's probably more important for Mane than Salah, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think as a team, when you're going through a bad patch, you try to cling on to something to give you a positive spin on things. Champions League, a new competition, can often do that. Getting your strikers scoring is vitally important. You know, it's great. Everyone will say we'd like to spread it round, but the bottom line, the crux of the matter is they're the match winners, and you need them confident more than anyone.
They're the most important players on the pitch.
Of course they are.
You might say that, Gary. You might say that, yeah.
Well, you just spend your time stopping them, so they must be.
Yeah, with that's as the foundations, you can't win anything.
OK, let's have a look at Liverpool's opening goal, which, clinched it, really, didn't it? That's all they needed, was one goal.
It was a beautiful goal. It was a lovely flowing really move. Goal. I mean, it's just what we haven't seen. And Jota starts it, makes a fabulous run. There was, nice pass inside by Salah. He continues it as well. It's, people get into the box, and Mo Salah in this position. Yeah. It's the Liverpool of old. Yeah. It really was. It was a beautifully worked goal.
Salah building right from the back as well there.
It was, yeah, right the way through the pitch. Movement off the ball. Salah making that run out to win. He chops across as well. Upamecano should have really sent him down on his right foot, but he actually cuts inside him and he cuts inside his defender as well, so he can't bring him down. And then once you're on your left foot like that, goalkeepers naturally moving one way and you hit it in the other corner.
We raved about Upamecano last season, but we've seen him 3 or 4 times this season.
He's gone backwards.
Poor, and Bayern Munich have spent a lot of money on him.
Bayern Munich have bought him, but he's gone backwards for me. That goal there was woeful defending, letting him back inside on his stronger foot. Yeah. He's going to have to improve once he gets to Bayern, I'm telling you.
Yep. Mane.
Yeah, well, obviously needed his goal, didn't he? I thought the front three today were, played very, very well. Yeah. I know it wasn't a great performance from Leipzig, but it was good for him to get his goal, and he didn't look like a man out of form the way he took it, because it was more difficult than it looked. This, once Origi loses it there, it's 3 quick, incisive passes.
Great football. That's the Liverpool we're used to seeing.
Brilliant. I mean, it really was. And then Divock Origi puts in a fabulous ball, and it was a harder finish than that looked. He made that look very, very easy.
How would you normally finish that? What would you? Obviously, that would be the last one you would do with the outside of the foot coming across.
I think it's a standard, mate. For starters, Origi does great, and I think centre forwards are very good at crossing them because they know exactly what you want.
Where you want.
And if he takes another touch and then crosses it, the opportunity's gone. So he lifts his head, he crosses it. To answer your question, Rio, I think I think it's an understated or underused term in terms of how you score a goal like that, because it's so easy to hit it over the bar. And if you keep trying, as much as anyone, and Crouchy, if you just try to hit pure contacts all the time, half the time it will go up. He's actually killed the pace there. He's hit it on the bottom of the ball, but even though he's hit it in the bottom, you'd naturally think goes high. Because he's sort of stabbed it with backspin, it actually kills the pace of the ball and keeps it down.
In fact, it's almost, isn't it, Michael, in those circumstances? You see players occasionally hit it over the bar. It's always when they hit through the ball.
Exactly.
What you do, it's almost like you're controlling it.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's like when you take the weight off it, so it just almost stops it, so it can't go up, it can only go down. Yeah. And he did it perfectly. I want to see you do that after. I'm going to get a ball and throw it at you and see how it works out.
That was his range. That was the hamstring.
I can't move these days. I think for Liverpool it was really important to get Fabinho back, wasn't it? Yeah. In that midfield role, particularly, I think.
Yeah, I think they've missed him, haven't they?
Oh, it's so comforting watching him, isn't it? When he's in the middle, you feel safe. And we got a few clips of what he did, and nothing spectacular today. Yeah. But just so comforting having him back in his rightful position, Crouch. I mean, some of these clips are brilliant. Just how you'd want a sitting midfielder that almost, well, he covers the back two, which is a weak part in the team.
Yeah, it's not beautiful to watch at times, but he's just in the right positions at the right time. His touch is nice, he controls the game. He's always calm in possession. I think he's done a very, very good job at centre-half, but the biggest miss is him out of midfield.
Do you think it was it's easy in hindsight, isn't it? Was it a mistake pulling him into the back four because you lose so much? I know they've lost a lot of central defenders, but do you think that was perhaps...
Yeah, well, this is the first time we've seen him since October in midfield. Yeah. And Liverpool look a much better side. I think him and Henderson in the midfield, when Henderson gets back fit as well, that's going to make a real difference. And if those two can, Kabak and Phillips can get a good partnership going in the Premier League, and those two are back in midfield, then it's going to look...
He gives the defenders confidence because he stops the ball into the strikers. He stops the pathways, the lanes into the strikers just through standing in the lane, so the ball can't get down there. So for a defender, they can drop off a little bit so the ball's not going to get in behind them because they know the balls can't come to feet. So if someone like that in front of you, the confidence that then spreads through other defenders and players in the team hasn't been there in the last few months because he's been in the back four.
I also think it's easy in hindsight to say just play him in his position. The problem with Liverpool have got, they're top heavy in midfield. They've got so many midfield players and none of them were injured, really. So all of a sudden, when you get a glut of injuries, it's very difficult to put inexperienced players when you've got then the likes of Thiago and Jordan Henderson or whoever else that would be sitting on the bench maybe if the likes of Ronaldo and Fabinho are playing. So it's easy in hindsight, but I think he had to probably put a bit of experience back there.
He was the only one in the midfielders who actually can play in the back four. He played at right back, especially for Monaco. So he knows what to do when he gets back there.
Done it a bit.
But I mean, before they actually went there this season.
Nat Phillips, his Champions League debut. He wasn't even registered in the group stage. He did really well.
I honestly, for a Champions League debut, he just didn't put a foot wrong. I know Rio's saying that Liverpool can't win the Champions League with those two centre-halves.
I think he's talking about the bandana more than anything.
The Terry Butcher. But listen, it's his first game in the Champions League. He didn't put a foot wrong. I understand exactly where Rio's coming from. They've lost Matip, Gomez, Van Dijk, who are their three first-choice centre-backs. But tonight, he didn't put a foot wrong. I thought he headed it when he needed to head it. I thought his positional sense was very good. And he cleared some dangerous-looking passes and crosses.
I think. Listen, if you're wearing a do-rag on your debut in the Champions League,
what?
You're doing well. You're doing well. But no, listen, I thought he didn't put a foot wrong. Like Crouchy said, you put in there, the pressure's on. You've got to understand the spotlight is on any centre-back that comes in this team now. So to go in there and do that, after being an unregistered player, as you said, you have to take that to him.
Yeah, he's done really well. As for Leipzig and... bit of a blow to Nagelsmann, isn't he? He's much talked about, sought after probably after this. A lot of big clubs will be looking at him. Does that kind of diminish his reputation slightly?
I think so. When you take into consideration the form that Liverpool have been in over the last month or so, Liverpool have breezed through the two legs, 4-0 on aggregate. It poses a question about German football and the strength of it at the moment.
They've got the Champions League winners.
Well, they have, but... Yeah, I still don't think Bayern Munich. I don't think Bayern Munich were the best team in Europe last year. I don't, personally. But
they were
the champions. No, I mean...
They won everything.
They did, but I don't think German football is that strong at the moment. I don't think Spanish football's that strong at the moment. I think Italian is probably coming up.
They stuck in umpteen goals against Barcelona.
I think the German. I agree with the German league.
Yeah.
But Bayern are a separate entity. I think
they're 2 points ahead of them.
Yeah, but you still got to play the rest of the teams who aren't as good. You know, I think Leipzig are possibly the best of the rest, but Bayern are out on their own.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. Bayern are one of the probably the second favourites to win it this year, behind Manchester City. But I think the English clubs and Italian clubs are pretty strong. But I think English clubs are the strongest this season again.